I know I said that I was going to make this channel about NFT gaming, blockchain gaming, but I hate playing blockchain games. We're gonna talk about that and more, and why I moved away from NFT gaming and what the plan is moving forward. I used to be really excited for NFT gaming. That is until I started to play these games consistently on a longer term basis and for money. When things like that happen, you start to look at this as a job. This started to feel like it was a 9 to 5. Actually, no, this was a 9 to 9 job where I was working a little bit more than minimum wage, and I hated the work that I was doing, where I had to keep on grinding away at all of these different monsters and dungeons that just keep on repeating on this endless loop, and then be able to sell those and then get out. So what ultimately ended up happening was I didn't want to play these games anymore. And now I took on a different job that felt like I was working at a digital version of Target because it was mind-numbing work. No offense for those who work at Target. I used to work at Target a long time ago, and that was not the most exciting work for me. So a lot of these games do not know how to balance the in-game economy with the real life economy of all of these different people coming in, from your investors to your people who are playing the games, and not knowing how to balance everything. Our federal government for the US struggles with fighting inflation, with multiple people's on salaries, and then some of these Web3 games, blockchain games, come in and they don't have any department, specialized people trying to figure out how to balance the economy inside these games. So then the economy tanks, the token tanks, the NFT tanks, and then you're inside a project that is worth nothing. The development and the speculation of hype and the expectation of people inside these projects, they're mismatching. It takes a long time to make a good game. The development is taking a lot longer than the people who in the project were expecting. It's going to take a while for all of these different projects to figure out. And I still believe in NFT gaming. I still believe in blockchain games and Web3 ownership of digital assets within these different types of games. But it's going to take a lot more to build out these metaverses, these different games, and make it into something that's fully functioning and that's a blast to play. So there's several reasons why it is difficult to balance these different in-game economies. Because first, the volatility of the underlying cryptocurrency or the macro environments. A lot of people are getting into this early, funding these projects, and then the cryptocurrency crashes, macro environment starts to hail fire on everybody, recession, inflation, and then because all the prices crash, now people pull out of those games, and then now nobody's playing a lot of those games unless they have great mechanics. And because they're not playing these games, because a lot of them were just playing it to make money, then you have all of these projects that came in and built a game around making money instead of building a game that was fun, and build around that and have an economy that's built for the metagamers. Metagamers is something that was coined by Brooks Brown. It's just basically the game around the game. So all the economics, the trading of the assets, all the stuff that I personally love doing, and then be the investor, be the trader around all the assets instead of actually having to play the game. And that's one of the things that made me sit back and realize, okay, I don't actually like playing these NFT games. I'd rather just have fun with my friends, mentally de-stress, and go play League of Legends. Yeah, I know, community's toxic, and I'd rather go when I found myself playing those games instead of looking at these Web3 games and be like, oh, just to hopefully get an NFT lottery ticket, and then I'll be able to make some money. Let's dive into the example that everyone thinks about when they get excited, or not everyone, but old school people who used to play World of Warcraft that became NFT traders. So a lot of the millennials and all the people who just came into the space that played World of Warcraft. One of the biggest things is like, oh, what happens if we had ownership and all the World of Warcraft gear and everything that we owned inside the game, we actually owned it, it was on side blockchain, and then we could sell that and become part of the economy and actually make money. That was always a narrative, and that's what's a thought, and it's always a comparison that these founders make because it's simple to grasp. World of Warcraft, Web3 ownership, make money. That was the expectation. instead of trying to actually make games that were fun. So when we look at World of Warcraft, it was announced in 2001 and then didn't get released in 2004. So it took 3 to 4 years of a reputable gaming studio that has experience in developing games at around the approximate cost of $100 million. So oftentimes we're going to see all of these different companies talk about how much money they were actually able to fund, but they're building a lot of this from scratch. They may have the Web 2 experience come from a gaming experience, but do those founders actually have the experience of building a department from scratch? Those are all things that you have to take in and realize. And how long is this actually going to take to make a legitimately fun game to compete not only with NFT games? And that was one of my mistakes. I compared these to all of these boring NFT games and was like, oh, these are light years ahead. But then when I took a step back, it's like, would I actually play these games in comparison to the addiction I have for League of Legends and playing with friends? Would I take time away from that if it wasn't for money? And the answer was no. And even when it was for money and I got completely burnt out from playing games like Big Time, I took a step back and just played League of Legends with friends and avoided playing Big Time because I just didn't want to play that game anymore. So that was a major waste of time, but it was also a major waste of money. So hindsight is 2020. So what I believe is going to be happening over the next few years is all of these NFT games are going to be the pioneers. What sucks about being the pioneers is all the pioneers are the ones with the arrows in their back. And then from the pioneers, the people from behind are the ones who get to innovate and learn from the mistakes of the pioneers. And then those are going to be the real games that make it out. There are potentially games right now that will make it out, that have great teams, and that the games are actually fun to play. I actually enjoy playing Phantom Galaxies, but not enough to skip out playing Phantom Galaxies over League of Legends. So now I'm just going to play games in Web3 just for fun and just because I am also just a little invested in them. And to be honest, I'm playing it and investing inside these assets not to make money anymore inside Phantom Galaxies, but just to be part of the game and to see where it goes, because at the moment it's one of the funnest games that I'm playing right now, and I don't want to play any more games. I'd rather just trade. And it brings me to my last point of why I'm shifting away from NFT gaming is one comment on YouTube on one of my videos a long time ago. If you just learned a more valuable skill, you could have made more money in less time. I'm paraphrasing, obviously, because I don't remember the exact quote, but that was something that stuck with me. And when I looked at it, I was like, I enjoy trading a lot more. If I invested all that money, you can see all my old videos, invested all that money and just traded with it instead and bought like some blue chip NFTs at like the very lows and just traded crypto like I used to trade crypto. All I did was trade Bitcoin. All I did was trade altcoins before coming into the NFT space, and even just trading NFTs as well. I would have made more money, been happier, made less work than having to feel like I'm working at the big time digital Target, putting back product on the shelves to hopefully find an NFT that I can sell to other people. That's what it felt like. You can see why I got burnt out and also why I didn't want to create content. And there was another reason why I didn't create content and took a break. It's because I got married. And that process was a lot of fun, but it was also a lot of work from all of the dancing. My fiance, she loves the boy band BTS, so we did some of their dances. So I'll upload the video, you can check that out here. But that was one of the things that was on my mind. So with the stress of the macro economy, crypto tanking, NFTs crashing and slowing down, I decided just to take a step back and just focus on the wedding. I'm still going to be doing NFT content because it's starting to pick up and I love trading NFTs. Also, let me know in the comments below what content you want to see from me in the future. It feels good to be back. As always, take care, talk soon, and I'll see you in the next video.